authoritative.
Absolutely.
But you mentioned one word, prioritizing, which is key. And especially let's talk about you as an MP and the role that you play in the National Assembly. We're at a time in this country where most Kenyans seem to be disappointed with leadership based on the legislative agenda that is coming out of Parliament. Do you then think that Parliament is compromised? Why I'm asking this, it's because it seems that leaders, and especially our members of Parliament, are not coming out strong on issues that are affecting Kenyans.
I want to agree that the majority of Kenyans are disappointed with the Parliament. And I will explain to you why. Mm-hmm. The drafters of our Constitution, and even if before I come to that, the reason, the qualification of the statement that the majority of Kenyans are not happy with the Parliament is usually manifested during election period. The number of members of Parliament who are sent home packing, the number is almost over 60%. Meaning that many Kenyans don't have confidence with the National Assembly, with the Parliament, both the National Assembly and the Senate. They feel like Parliament is not responsive to their plans, is not responsive to their plight, is not responding to their wish. This is so because it is not Parliament and that has created that disconnect. Yeah. It is our laws. You know, the drafters of the Constitution, 2010 Constitution, they went across this country. Many Kenyans and many experts appeared before the Committee of Experts at Bomas of Kenya to give their views, and the Kenyans were of the view that they should be the one that driving the activities of Parliament, both the National Assembly and the Senate. Mm-hmm. And then we anchored into our Constitution that there is no project that the government of Kenya should implement, or the Parliament of Kenya should not appropriate any money to fund a project until that project or that piece of legislation has been subjected to the public participation. Mm-hmm. But there is no act of Parliament that unpacks public participation. Kenyans feel like they should be the one to be consulted in terms of do we want this project to proceed or not, or in terms of these 10 proposals, which one is most urgent, which one that should be given first priority. But currently, the laws that governs public participation is not explicit. It doesn't mean how many will approve a project before it progresses. You know, I would want to see a situation, a scenario where when you say you are doing this road and 80% of the people who turn up in that public participation say no, then you don't proceed. But there is no threshold. There is no threshold. Today, the law only recognizes that public participation was done. It doesn't go to an extent of saying that public participation was done, but 80% of those who came to give their views were against this project. Okay. You only need to look at an attendance sheet that, of course, there is evidence that a meeting was convened in this particular social hall. Kenyans were invited through a newspaper advert or through a public address system that came around. So that's why, apart from them appearing to give views, most of them will say, I said this project should not proceed, but Parliament seemed to have gone ahead to progress with this bill, with these pieces of legislation, because there is a lacuna. You know, there is a lacuna in the way we do our public participation.
But are we